Hey, everybody, welcome back for another episode of The Overlay, a poker podcast brought to you by CCG Poker and Paramount Social Club in Houston, Texas. What's up, Brando?
What up? Just want the member or the audience to know that he always goes 3, 2, 1, go. Today he did 1, 2, 3, go, and it kind of threw me off. But
yeah, on my other podcast, they always joke how I start 30, 29, 28, and I did that same joke to like a new audience because we had 4 guests on the podcast, not this one, but the other one, which I thought was super funny, and they really enjoyed it. Matt was like, "I've been doing this for 123 episodes. It's
right.
it's no longer funny."
It was funny on episodes 7 and 8.
You've been doing it for 80 episodes. Today's the 80th episode, so congratulations, Brando, on making it to 80 episodes of The Overlay. Pretty cool.
Yeah, if we had an over-under.
If the over and under 80 would have been massively
Way
over.
Agreed.
Yeah, and like 30,000 downloads. I can't believe it. People listen to us in their cars on their way home to and from events. It's crazy. All over the country.
Never get enough of us. It's great.
Yep. I do like it, though, when people are like, you guys do the commentary?
Right, like it's you two. Momo's playing a hard out game of spades. Like
Right.
you guys are the ones
Right.
that I'm listening to for poker advice.
Right. If you actually saw Brandon and I in real life, you might not want to take that advice. But anyways, today we're going to talk about poker streams and how they're awesome. And they've just kind of progressed from these little itsy-bitsy games. Just the poker and internet, they go well together. Correct?
I agree.
So
poker and TV really is kind of outdated now, right? There's not. You can't just go on ESPN and watch a new episode of the
100%.
WSOP.
It's gone.
They still do them. They do the main event, and that's it.
Yeah, but in all honesty, they don't do the main event like they used to do the main event. Like I'm not talking like
it's like live, and they do it like through the
Well, even still, like ESPN might show like the final tables and like a couple of featured days and like some of the cool storylines that they do. But like it used to be like they would show the WSOP on ESPN for like. It felt like a month. Like they would do like the whole WSOP. Like they did a ton of TV time on it, and like they did like day one of the main event, and like you would have 8 hours of just like footage of like people going all in, and like this super old veteran, and look at this guy with no teeth, and he's playing for his new dentist, or like whatever. Like they always had these wild stories, and it would be on all the time. And now here we are, however many years later. I mean, that was like 2007, 8, 9, 10. CCG actually did the most I ever spent on a television commercial was a 30-second spot during the WSOP main event. It was like day 7 or something. It was like a Friday night that I paid. And over and under, Brando, how much do you think that was? 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Remember the old TV like
Super Bowl is $7 million for 30 seconds, and this is ESPN.
Right.
I'm going to say 7,500.
Wow, you give me way too much credit. I would never spend $7,500 on 30 seconds for anything. I don't care what it is. I'm out. It was like 2,500. It was like maybe like 2,800 or 2,900 bucks. It was between 25 and 3, and I was like, "This is like my entire advertising budget
for the year,
blowing it on a 30-second thing." And like I remember, I was like, "Mom, did you?" I called my mom. I was like, "Did you see it?" This is like 27-year-old Kenny. I was like, "Mom, did you see my commercial on WSOP?" She's like, "Oh shit, I missed it. Can you go back?" I was like, "No." I can't go back.
Right, this is 2007. You don't got TiVo and Rewind.
No,
right
and in all
Live
honesty,
TV.
like in those days, like we would predominantly, that was like our one big crazy ad spend. Most of the time you could get like the old shows, High Stakes Poker, Poker After Dark, HPT. We could do HPT stuff when HPT was on. Like, remember ESPN showed a lot of HPT like televised footage from like the Midwestern, like, you know, the production was so bad. It's so crazy to think about. That was only like less than 20 years ago, and it's like caveman drawings compared to today's kind of production values, and just like HD cameras in general. But that used to be where you would watch your poker, and you could watch it on TV, and you would record it, and you would watch High Stakes Poker, Poker After Dark. What were the other ones? High Stakes Poker. What were the original kind of shows? We've actually talked about this on the podcast before, like those old
we had
school
the OGs.
shows. But the whole point.
Poker After Dark and High Stakes were like, I mean, those are the two.
And we used to get spots in those because they would run like late at night, but like it's poker players, so we're up at all times of the night, so it was like kind of perfect. I don't want to spend primetime money. We were spending like 2:00 in the morning money, which you could get like 30-second spots for like $50 to $100. So we could sprinkle $3,000 on like 30 spots over like all of these perfectly poker shows. Yeah, we would just bang it out. So like you could watch one episode of Poker After Dark and see like 3 CCG commercials. Right. I'll try to find the commercial and post it on Twitter.
I remember you found it once.
Yeah, I wish I still had it.
For me, I saw it.
It was so old. When I had the commercial made, they gave me a fucking videotape.
Was like a cassette tape?
Fucking tape. Like not a Betamax, but like kind of. That's what it felt like. Here's a laser disc of your 30-second commercial. That was awesome. It was
Sebastian,
so cool.
I was like, I used to watch Barney on VHS. And he's like, I don't even know what a VHS is.
Nope.
And I'm like, you serious? He's like, why have I like heard about them in like history books? I'm like, Jesus,
oh my
man.
God.
He's like, I know what they are. He's like, I've never like held it in my hand.
Sebastian's also the same kid when I was like trying to explain when you dialed collect, and they were like, what? And they were like, yeah, like we call collect from like a payphone, and then somebody's like, yeah, I remember nights and weekends you had to wait till 9:00 to call people, and he was like, huh? I was like, I hate you. Anyways, back to the reality of poker and not VHS tapes.
I mean, you got to remember, high stakes poker. There was no RFIDs. It was cameras in the tables,
lipstick cameras. They called them. Remember that was like this, and remember like the glass, like
the glass,
the see through, and like like there was a camera pointing up, and like that's how they got it. You just put your 2 cards like over like this piece of like frosted glass. And like there's some guy like underneath the table looking up at everybody's cards.
I mean, it's a camera, but yes,
I know. But like
yes.
that's what it was. Now, come all these years later, RFID equipment has come into extension or come into fruition, and like there's one gentleman out of Australia that basically does every single stream currently that you watch, every single one uses some form of that software. Either they purchase the software and like internally they have upgraded, like the WSOP, but they originally bought that shit from like him, like
same guy,
which is amazing. So like the table you see at CCG purchased the equipment, hardware, and software, and still to this day licensed the software from that gentleman in Australia. Paramount's table actually just went down about 3 months ago. They broke it, and they broke some of the hardware, which really sucks because we haven't been able to stream anything down there. So we're kind of trying to figure out a way to get a new table, but the tables themselves are like in the $25,000 range to get the table going, and then you still got to have all the equipment plus buy the software. Like it's a lot. But with that being said, we've gone from the VHS version of poker on TV, where Ken was paying $100 for a 30-second spot for some guy at Comcast to play my video during that time frame, to now, almost 20 years later, everything is live stream. PokerGo is kind of awesome. I subscribe to it every year. I should probably say they're not a sponsor, but they give CCG and Paramount both free subscriptions to show content on like TV free of charge, which is great because there's so much content to watch. But now if you want to watch the WPT, there's another one we forgot to mention. The WPT used to be on all the time too. We used to do stuff for that because that didn't get as much exposure in the old days. And when we would do like the WPT reruns and the WSOP reruns, which they did, like they don't do that anymore. Now, if you want to watch the main event, you just watch it on PokerGo. You subscribe for $100 for the year, and it's worth it. Right?
Yeah, and I have it on my TV. Somehow Google's got it. Well, I have YouTube TV, and like it's somehow like one of my channels that I just watch. Yeah, like it's just on freaking TV.
I might have downloaded an app for it. Like
there's the PokerGo app for sure.
But I think I have it on my TV. Like it's on.
Oh, like the PokerGo TV app.
It might be. I might also just be like mirroring. We'll see.
And they got all kinds of stuff there. But I mean,
it's great.
I think we can really get into these days. I mean, streams pop up over the best part about streams, I think, is just like the lineup's always like handpicked.
Yeah.
So it's made for TV. It's made for action. It's basically, it's not just like, oh, let's go zoom in at a random 1-2 game at CCG and see what's going on. Well, you could have 4 boring guys and 2 guys that are nits. No, every one of these live streams has got characters in them. They got fun people that are drinking.
Absolutely.
They got guys with money that are they're businessmen that are just trying to gamble. And
they're trying to bust the pros. That's all they want to do. So they can tell their buddies back at home, like, oh man, I whacked, Patrick Antonius in a $2 million pot. Actually, it turned out Patrick Antonius won that pot. This is how Brandon and I got to streaming today. We were looking at Poker News, and Patrick Antonius wins $1,978,000 per pot, the largest ever broadcasted on a U.S. live stream. What stream was that on?
So that's the No Gamble, No Future.
That's Hustler
stream.
Casino Live.
Is that?
Yep. No, I'm sorry. The previous record was 1.15 at a Hustler.
So I think that No Gamble, No Future. I mean, maybe we probably could have looked this up knowing that we're doing a podcast on streaming, but I think it's like at the Aria, and it's like, I don't know if it's like a PokerGo sponsored stream or an Aria. That Rob Young guy that used to be like Rob's home game. No Gamble, No Future. And now they did like a season 3. It was called like Clash of the Titans.
Yep.
It was like you could buy into up to like $1 million. Or I don't know if you had to buy in for $1 million or if you could buy into up to $1 million. But I mean, they got obviously a amazing lineup with Roble and Patrick Antonius being like the old school guys. Andrew Roble, who actually won the most money over the 3 days, and Patrick Antonius won the biggest pot over the 3 days. And then, you got that Eric Pearson guy, who's the guy that owns all the casinos. He's the one that lost the $2 million pot.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's kind of the whale action fish of the game.
That's what they want. Yeah.
Right. But then you got him, and then he's the one that argues with Phil. How he's like, hey, you put up $1 million of your own dollars and let's battle it out. And Bellagio,
where is the PokerGo Theater? Is that at Aria, right?
That's at the Aria, yeah.
Okay, so it's a PokerGo stream. The cash game coming soon to PokerGo Theater near you. It's the No Gamble, No Future show.
Yes.
But it seems like it's a PokerGo kind of sponsored.
Correct. I think PokerGo just made their own.
Apologize for not giving credit. It's wild. It also says Patrick Antonius has won the largest online pot, 1.4 million.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That's also pretty cool to have both of those records. But this is where we're at now.
Live. I mean, I watch the hand live, and I never watch. You know me. I don't watch poker anymore. I don't
not
do
live
vlogs.
At least. If you know it's a good game, you might watch like the stream again. Because that's the nice thing about PokerGo is that you can go back and watch all of those things. Like,
correct.
It's great. Like I want to play.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I want to play in the WSOP. So instead of like other people are like, I should read Poker Super Systems again, or maybe I'll watch Rounders, or possibly like do some like what is that stuff that kids do? Hand
solver work.
Nah, I'm just going to watch some PokerGo shit for like 20 minutes and then call it a day.
No.
I'm not even going to take the time to watch all of Rounders. I'm just going to like fast forward like maybe 3 hands on some streams and be like, cool. I got my poker solver working today. I'm going to go to the horseshoe. It's great.
And then the streams are all, advertised on social media. So, and that's what's so great about it.
It's all online.
I know it's existing. And then all of a sudden, you're scrolling through Twitter trying to get the Bulls score, and you realize that there's 3 huge streams going on, 50, 100 at the Lodge, and then the Hustlers got something going, and then No Gamble, No Futures got something going.
Correct.
All of a sudden, you're like, no, you know what? Maybe
Live at the Bike is still a thing. I mean, that show production has gone down a little bit since they lost their original kind of producer. What's his name? Feldman or something? Yeah,
Sam.
Yeah, I mean, he started the Live at the Bike stream, which was kind of like the first stream that kind of came for cash game players, the first like big stream where they were handpicking the lineup.
25-50 and play some big
with straddles and like force antes. Like who plays a 100, 200 with a $200 ante, or like just crazy shit, just fun. That's
good for TV content, and that we've got to give Live at the Bike the credit.
Absolutely.
They're kind of the pioneers of it.
And then all
these other ones.
Yeah, and then a couple other spinoffs happened.
Stones
happened, and then Stones kind of went the way of the Rock in the ocean. They just completely sank. They had a big controversy, which everybody knows about. We're not going to talk about Mike Postel because who really cares at this point? And if he did or didn't cheat, I don't know. I mean, I would say it's pretty unlikely that he didn't have some kind of knowledge of what was going on. But it also kind of threw this huge like black mark on streaming poker games in general and like RFID technology. And to this day, would that happen, like 5 years ago? 3 years ago?
It was
4 years ago?
Pre-COVID. So,
Pre-COVID,
right?
like kind of right before COVID. So yeah, 4 or 5 years ago. Even to today, I still get people like, "Well, what's the security like? What's this like? What can people get into the stream and like see it?" And I'm just like, "No, that's not a possibility. Like, it's a closed system." He was in on the closed system in some way, shape, or form. He had to have somebody in the production side that he was getting information from, and that's it.
Correct, and that with live streams, that should be the only way that stuff could ever happen.
Right.
It's all closed. Like, it's never going to be like he has access to the other 9 people's cards on his cell phone. No, it's got to be like a guy that's back there clicking fold, raise, call, clicking the buttons is, texting them or something like that. It have to be along those lines. And I mean,
are they still pretty intense on like cell phone usage at the table?
Yes.
Do they just not like
I think more so now because of Postal. Some places do, some places don't.
Yeah.
I know, like, Phil Ivey was pissed. He was going on a stream and they like took his cell phone away when they mic'd him up and stuff.
That's Phil Ivey, bro.
Yeah, no, it's like Phil Ivey, man. Come on.
Who's he gonna cheat?
Right. He's just gonna win, even if he's not. Yeah, he's gonna win. Well, who's he gonna cheat? Just
but from Live at the Bike, and then kind of the fall of Stones, which kind of ruined a little bit, and then after that, and COVID kind of came back. Then really, poker live streaming has gone bananas. Now you've still got Live at the Bike, but they're no longer top dog. You got Hustler Casino Live, which is probably the new like big one. Now you have No Gamble, No Future. You've got all the Texas games doing stuff. I think you got to
differentiate those two. I think like the Hustler Live is obviously big action, but that's something that like, your average Joe Schmo could get in. You know what I mean? Like, not Joe Schmo, but like if you got $50,000 and you own a business and you reach out to them and you want to, I want to play, good action, you're probably going to get in. It's more of the No Gamble, No Future is more. That's like nosebleed shit. I mean, that's just like shit where you think it's fake because it's so much money.
And it's like old school players that everybody remembers from like the days of when the poker boom, like Patrick Antonius playing, Phil Hellmuth playing, like these wild people.
Andrew Roble, and then the new guys that are kind of relevant, but I mean, they're all just buku millionaires and they're good action. Right. I mean, that just makes for an amazing game. I kind of want to put that up on a pedestal of like, that's kind of like your high stakes poker of now. Like, it's Tom DeLonge and it's untouchable stuff. Like, you can go to the Bellagio.
We're not going to play with those guys.
Correct. Like that. Yeah. Like that's kind of made for TV poker. And I'm not saying it's fake. I mean, the money's real and it's all good action. And I mean, there's just, but I'm just saying it's more money that like, we could even fathom. Like the stakes are so high there, that whereas Hustler, that's kind of like, it's like the big game down in Bellagio. Like, yeah, you can go take a shot in that once or twice. Maybe one of the big guys that plays at CCG's got enough money to go play the Hustler. Nobody at CCG's got enough money to go play the NGNF, nor are they getting invited. So you got to kind of
even if you had the money, they're not letting you get in there. Correct. It's a close game.
It's yeah. But it's made for TV, obviously. I mean, PokerGo knows what they're doing. I mean, they're putting out stuff that is, if it's drawing me, which I think I'm about as far away from interested in poker as I've ever have been in my life.
Right.
And I mean, if it's drawing me, I mean, yes, I work for poker and I play poker all the time. Yes. But like, I never consume poker content short of like Twitch, online poker circa 2014, Jamie Staples back in the day when he was playing $10 sit and goes. And if they're getting me to watch it, obviously they're doing something right.
Correct. The marketing behind it is very good. And then you got places like The Lodge where you get your poker vloggers in there, your Brad Owens, your Andrew Nemes, Doug Polk. I mean, The Lodge is killing it. So good that they've been donned the Lodge Mahal, which I thought was kind of cool.
The Lodge Mahal. It's pretty sweet.
It's a good name. I'm not going to lie. I like it. But even other smaller clubs in Texas, I have seen, I say smaller clubs, the bigger clubs in the outside cities, San Antonio has a club called Rounders that has a pretty good stream. Texas Card House in Austin, the OG, they still have a pretty good stream. And they get views and people like to see it. And that's more of the idea of like, if you got money that you're willing to spend and you're pretty good for TV, like the chances of you being able to play on those are great. Abby from Pat's game from the CCG live stream, the 5-5 game there, she played down at one of those, either at the Lodge or at Texas Card House. I don't remember exactly what stream she played on, but like that's awesome. Like they invited her to come down and play, which was awesome.
And I think that with those, I also think what's so important about, not important, but what's so intriguing about Texas is everybody, says how good the games are, Well,
they're better.
Here's not only that, it's just like, how are you from Chicago, who's not going to travel down to Texas, going to get a feel for those games through those live streams?
Yep.
It's like, well, go here, go look for yourself. The Lodge is crazy. I think Brad Owen just stuck in like 40K with 7 deuce off, not playing the 7 deuce game yesterday, and he ran into aces.
Nice.
That just happened last night in the Lodge stream. But you got all these vloggers that turned kind of big time after the pandemic. But I mean, they paved the way for the Rampages and all these other new and upcoming vloggers. And now, you got TikTok that's so damn popular. You got, everybody down to Patty Rich putting little hand histories out there.
Yep.
And I mean, all that was made possible from Brad Owen and Andrew Nemi and the Trooper being like the OG guys that were like, yeah, we'll try and not be boring and listen or, and list our poker hands.
I forgot about the Trooper. I haven't watched him in a
Trooper.
long time.
He's like the OG. I mean, Serve Dan and Pat were talking about that guy in 2010.
Yeah.
But he was ahead of the curve. He knew it was going to be big. He just sucked at production. He wasn't that good at poker. He's pretty boring. But yeah, I mean, I think the Texas streams are
they're
insane.
very fun to watch, and
they're entertaining because it's so wild and crazy. And you don't think that the guy with bottom pair and the guy with middle pair is somehow going to get 14,000 each in, and they just do.
And they do.
You know what I mean? And it's good for TV. And
it's nuts.
Mean, yeah. If I'm going to endorse one, it's going to be just go to the Texas ones, man.
Texas ones are cool.
Out there. They are. They're playing 50-100 at the Lodge.
Yeah,
50-100 with $100 big blind ante.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not $2 million, live streaming at Aria at PokerGo Studios, but still pretty awesome, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the evolution of poker go from terribly produced on TV to nicely produced on TV,
right?
To almost like too well produced on TV where it's boring now.
Yeah.
And then, it shifts over to, all right, well, what's not? I mean, there's still poker here. What's not boring? Well, crazy ass live streams with hand-picked people and nosebleed blinds seems pretty entertaining. And people
fun.
That want to, not show off, but I mean, you want to be the guy on the stream that makes the crazy call with ace high or, gets a bluff through or, it kind of gets your juices flowing a little bit. I've never played
like
on a live stream.
Mung did with that ace jack.
Like Mung did with the ace jack. All of a sudden,
if you don't know what we're talking about, go check out CCG Poker TV on YouTube. Just search CCG Poker and it'll pop up on the channel CCG Poker TV. And it's Pat's game part 2. And she just rips this fucking 2K hero call. Just bink. Just good. She's just good with ace.
I mean, everything Jack did through the entire hand
should have won.
Screamed he had
aces,
a massive hand.
Kings, something.
Not even queens. Feel like it was stronger than queens.
I even feel like Kings was like, nah, I don't even see that.
It's probably aces. Yeah.
And the worst
Jack
part
had
is,
ace 4.
If he actually had Kings, he would have lost both of the runouts.
Yeah.
So sick.
But I mean, now, streaming has gotten as low as, not as low, but I mean, it's in our doors at a charity poker event.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't scream relevance, I don't really know what does. I mean, Kirk's got a stream. I mean, people got streams that are like, it's good. I mean, and the people in their own little environments kind of like their own little things. I mean, the Texas guys probably like the Texas ones. I mean, the CCG players enjoy the CCG stream, not because the blinds are 50-100, but because they know the people that are on the TV. It's just like, oh, I play with this guy all the time. Oh man, Mung did that. Wow, Mung's a little crazier than I thought.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like little things like that where you can, a little bit about their personality before and after the stream that you can now engage with them and talk about the next time is attractive to players, as it should be.
Yeah, it's fun. And you know what? It's good in general, the idea of like, it's good for poker. I think the live streaming,
I agree.
It's good for poker. It makes really good poker content. It makes regular Joes and Janes, regular people. It makes regular people playing these games feel like I could easily play in this stuff, and like it's cool. And you know what? I feel like for so many people where poker is their hobby and it's fun and it's not a life decision and they're not doing this for a job and they're enjoying the time that they play, it's kind of a nice poker vacation to try to like go to Texas and reasonably be able to kind of reach out to some of these. If you're a poker player that wants to play in one of these things, fucking follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm a freaking crazy man. I will be great for your TV. Let me in this game. When can I play? And I promise you, they will reach out to you and they will be like, yeah, all right, cool. Let's see what you got. Especially if you're like a pseudo, poker content creator, like your Patty Riches or Abby's that are kind of getting into that realm of trying to do it for more than just the poker world, doing content creation, which is what everybody wants to do now. It's awesome. Like, do it. Show them some.
There's really nothing better for your channel than
Absolutely
to go
not.
Get exposed on a live stream.
Which
Win or lose, you can tweet out, "Had the biggest loss of my life." Blah, blah, blah.
$80 doesn't matter. It's all relative.
Right.
It's the most you ever lost in one hand, Brandon.
The most I've ever lost in one hand.
One hand. One hand.
7,800.
No, nice.
Yeah. It hurt.
That does hurt. With that being said, I'm trying to make sure I don't say it. 7,800 is not that bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse.
How much worse could it be?
19,855.
Yeah, 36,000 with 7 deuce off, showing off to your followers and running into aces. And then,
look at me,
ace in the window.
Just
by the way, for those
brick that shit. You're
but
out.
That's what I was going to say. I went to the lodge, just their live stream. Scrolled down, it was like, "Are you interested in playing the lodge? What are you interested in?" And I was like, 1-3, 2-5, 5-10, 25-50, 50-100, blah blah blah. I check these boxes, and it was like, "Are you a current member of the lodge? Do you know any of these following members? What is your name? What are your hobbies?" Like,
right.
There was like basically an application.
Again,
form
it's a mild, it's a mild interviewing process where it's like, what's your plan here? Like, why are you good for TV? Like, they don't want a, I can't think of anybody that won't make fun of, but like, Sebastian and all of his Seabass and all of his wonder, like, he might be good for TV. Like, not gonna lie, he might be a good. He's the kind of guy that they're gonna be like, all right, this kid's kind of a jackass, but he's likable. But yet I really kind of hate him too. It's like the Tiger Woods effect. They want Tiger Woods because you either love him or hate him. He sells tickets. Love him or hate him. Are you going to sell tickets or not? Because nobody wants to watch a stream where you don't have one. You got to have a villain. Sometimes it's good to be the villain.
Polarizing athletes.
Yeah, you want
always the most popular.
Right. Nobody wants a sweet, nice Pat on their stream who's just like, "Oh, good hand, sir," and he means it. I don't want that. I want the nice hand, buddy. Good job, right. Chief.
Chips. You gotta get his pal back.
Yeah. You're just holding them for me. I did see this really cool meme where a guy had the stripes and the chips all lined up, and it's like if you lose a pot to this guy and you look over and your chips that are now in a row perfectly aligned with the other chips, you know what I'm talking about, like the little stripes.
Yeah,
You ain't ever getting them back.
That's true.
It's a perfect knit move right there. All right, so one last announcement as far as streams go. No streaming this month for CCG Poker because of the WSOP, so we're going to kind of wait until next month. But next month, we're going to do another 5-5-10 live stream for Pat's game. So if you're interested in that, do what we said. Hit us up on Twitter at CCG Poker, at The Overlay. Either one, let us know. We'll get you a spot in there. But we are doing a meetup game. Have I even told you about this yet?
Nope.
PLO Professor and Donkfish Poker, two local content creators, poker vloggers. I will put some information out for them very shortly, but they're just starting to drop stuff 30 days away. So it's the end of March. It's the last weekend of March. I think it's the 25th, 26th. We're going to be at Bridgeview Community Center, and they're going to do a PLO meetup game. all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Come out and see both of them. So it should be fun. We like doing it. I like working with, I just like working with poker people in general. So it should be fun. If you're in the Chicagoland area at the end of March, look us up. You can check out Brandon and I. Maybe we'll actually have both of them on the podcast. It's probably something we should do. So let's do that. I'll reach out to them. This is not the formal introduction, although if they catch it, kudos to you. You could be on it 5 times. You could be a new co-host. I'll give you guys the podcast. It'll be great. Anything else?
Small fee of $742,000. Obviously, that's what it's valued.
It'd be my new. That's probably what this podcast is worth its weight in gold. Is what
on the low end, and
yeah, we'll take it.
Rates are up.
We'll take it in Bitcoin. Awesome. We'll watch some streams this week. If you're not a member of PokerGo, hit me up on Twitter. I'll give you my password. We can just share it like we do on Netflix. That's not a thing. I'm not actually going to do that.
I was like, wow, that's so nice of him. I wonder how this is going to work.
I mean, if you ever notice at CCG, Aaron is always watching PokerGo. I'm like, you're not getting enough poker action here that you want to watch poker while you're at a poker event. Like, that seems like it's too much. But it does go to show that people love watching poker on their phone screens. So check it out. If you're playing the WSOP this weekend, shout out for CCG. And if you're from Texas, playing all the way in Chicago, should be a blast. The WSOP in the Hammond area for the Horseshoe
makes its 3-year hiatus today.
I mean, it used to be one of the biggest circuit events of all circuit events. I mean, it was massive. I don't know what to expect. You and I are going to be there on Sunday, February 26th for the PLO tournament, and that's probably it. But if you're playing,
that's it.
Yep. Share some time with your buddies and tell them to listen to the podcast. We do have some funny things. I think it's a pretty good podcast. If not, shamefully, just drop some CCG stuff. Either way, let us know how you're doing. Other than that, Brandon, you got anything for us?
No. Good luck, everybody at the circuit. You can win all the events besides the PLO.
Yep.
Because I'm going to win that one.
The only third place is open for that one.
Right, because Ken's going to get his second again.
I'm going to get my second.
And lose to another person that, he would hate to lose to.
You know what? If it's you and I, we're not chopping. We're just going to play it out.
Absolutely
the whole way.
Absolutely not.
It'll be awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Farewell.